Hi, I am Mark Peikert, editor-in-chief of Backstage magazine. I'm excited to be here moderating with Keegan-Michael Key, 3-time Emmy nominee this year. Yes, applaud. It's the Emmys. The Emmys still mean something, especially this year, and especially for this guy. I'm really excited to talk to him tonight, and he's been sitting amongst you all along. Come on down.
Thank you. I wish I could have gotten everybody's hands, but that would have been the whole Q&A if I had high-fived every single person. But
We could have just
no,
done
that would have been worth it. We could just do that. No, I was.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
3 nominations.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, 2 for writing, but 1 for acting.
Yeah, I know.
Which
It was
is amazing.
a complete and utter shock. I was not expecting that at all. I was looking online in the morning because one of our writers had sent an email to everybody, and it was just like, congrats! With like 75, exclamation points after it. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is Emmys. And all I really cared about was that our writers got nominated. That was the biggest thing for me. And then I'm looking and I'm reading down the line, and I'm just going, supporting actor in a comedy. Who's that for? Oh, that's good. And my wife it's for you, honey. It's for you. I was like, so yeah, it's been such a pleasant, humbling surprise. Yeah.
I mean, what did you do when you found out?
I jumped out of the bed and I kissed my dogs and my wife. In that order. But she's a really great lady and she didn't care.
Well, happy dog, happy life.
Right, exactly. That's what they say. Happy dog, happy dogs, happy life. Right.
Yeah.
And so I went to go kind of email my mom's. It's a long story, but I have 3 moms. So it's and then it was just a big string of emails back and forth between the writers and me and Jordan and everything. It was really great. Yeah.
I mean, it's been a wild ride for you, right? The whole 5 seasons, which is now coming to an end.
Yes.
On Comedy Central.
Yeah. No, I know.
And I'm going to ask the question that's on everyone's minds in this room: where the hell are you 2 driving to? And will we find out at the end?
You will find out at the end. So I'm gonna save it. You will find out at the end. Please tweet all of your friends. We got a plan. We've got a plan. It's gonna be fine. No. We are going to a place to do a thing. Yes.
Is it inspired by Thelma and Louise?
It is not. No, it is not inspired by Thelma and Louise. It is not inspired by Thelma and Louise. But it's. I'm trying to. Yeah. I think that's as vague as I can be. We're going to a place to do a thing. So that's the best.
And it's not suicide.
It's not. No, we do not commit suicide.
Okay.
We do not commit suicide because then that leaves it open for Key and Peele specials or Key and Peele. Yes. Yeah. So there's no death. No death. No. We're not flying off a butte or driving off a butte. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what the specials have in store?
Right. Exactly. Maybe we'll drive off a butte in the specials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a mesa. Yeah. I'm just saying a butte and a mesa are the same thing. I never could figure that out.
I love a good Mesa joke. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Done. We're done here.
All right.
Can't top that. When did you realize where you're going to drive? Did you always have that destination?
No.
It
Was one day when we got crazy and then we got all enamored with a True Detective, and so that's why we changed the main title sequence like that. And then in the midst of it, I said, I have a feeling people are going to wonder where we're driving, and then we figured it out. And then one of our EPs just said, oh, like he just had like an orgasm in that writer's room. He went, but I got it. Yeah. And so we figured out how to button it all up. It's going to be, if you know the comedy term, a callback. This is my hint to you. It's going to be a crazy callback to something that happened. It's a callback to something that happened in season 1.
Oh, yes. All right. Which and season 1, 2, 3, you didn't have the driving.
No, we had that kind of flip around thing where we'd be in a position and it would flip, and then our costumes and our environment would change, but we'd be in the same position. So we're basically doing an improv game called freeze tag, but we just happened to put it on on screen and film it with this, with this special effect that was flipping the world around and flipping the world around. And it felt more, it had a lot of kind of energy to it. And Reggie Watts wrote the song for us, and it had that kind of driving energy. But then we just, like I said, we just got enamored and enthralled with True Detective. Like, what if we make the main title look like if someone changed the channel, they'd go, what is this drama on Comedy Central? Just men going, men in anguish. Men in anguish, men in drag in anguish, just everybody's in anguish, So that's what we did.
Did Comedy Central have anything to say about that?
You know what? By the time we got to season 3, I don't even think they weren't even reading the scripts anymore. They're just like, sounds great, make it. So we're gonna need like 6 elephants. We're gonna need 6 pachyderms. Make it. We'll pay for it. Do whatever you want.
Well, I've asked because you and Jordan met on Mad TV.
Yes. We met before Mad TV. Yes. We met before Mad TV, but that's where we started working together.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you auditioned against each other.
Well,
Mad TV.
The funny thing is he auditioned at a different time than I did, and then he got to Mad TV 6 months before I did, and then I auditioned and went. So it was serendipity that we were on the same show. So people say that, but not really. I think what they were doing is we had a surplus of black people because it's black people, so they're gonna have to fight somebody. You know what I mean? That was
Yeah.
And then they didn't fire any of us. So it was unprecedented. We had 4 African Americans on a sketch comedy show all at the same time. And but they thought a couple folks were going to leave, and one did, but then another one didn't, and they kept all of us. So yeah. Yeah, and Jordan, I don't believe this to be true, but Jordan always said that the thing is that I was working on characters coming from the Second City. I was doing all this character work, and so I had these characters for my audition, and he said, I'm going to just start writing with him, and then we'll write everything together, and then they can't break us up as a team. And I was like, oh, I thought you just liked me. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, but that, and a lot of us did that, use that technique. Let's just write everything together, and then they can't take it away from. Yeah, they can't get rid of us.
So when you decided to do your own show together, what did you take from Mad TV? What lessons did you take? Either that you wanted to recreate that, or that you wanted to go in a different direction.
It was the big thing was like, let's go in a completely opposite direction. Let's do something really different. We knew that we weren't going to have a live. We had the live on stage stuff, but we knew we were going to have a live component to it. We knew we wanted to make little comedic films. And the way our director, the guy who's directed virtually every single sketch, the way he always puts it is, I want to put the funniest set piece from like a 93-minute comedy. I want to take the funniest set piece and just put it in there. And then that way, we're getting a sketch that's existing with a lot of layers inside of a story, so that we hope that you sometimes guess, God, what happened just before this sketch? It's just so that you're catching everything in media res. So you're really going, wow, what this has these layers on it, and we're just jumped right into the middle of something that already existed.
Yeah. As you're saying that, I'm picturing the Family Matters.
Yes, sketch. Yeah, him storming into the office, like, God damn it, Gene! Yeah. It's one of my favorite sketches. There a lot of texture in my voice the next day at work after that one, because we just screamed the entire time. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So how do you create the characters? I mean, you were already creating characters at Second City. What comes first? What inspires you to create a person?
Very often, just today I was doing it. Whenever you can find like a vocal signature that a person has, and literally in the car on the way here, there was a comedic game, like a character game that the driver of the car I was in was doing, which was he was saying he'd make a disparaging comment about Brooklyn, and then he goes, "Nah, I'm just kidding," and then it's a great place. It's a great place. And then you make a disparaging comment about the subway system, and they go, "Nah, I'm just kidding. It's terrific. It's really very useful. Very useful." I mean, Trump owns all these buildings here. It's crazy. We got all this going on. I mean, it's blah blah blah. It's a disparaging comment about Trump, and then he was finished. But then. But then I'm noticing it, and so I'm listening to him. I'm going, yeah. Well, I'm surreptitiously pulling up my phone and going, "Nah, I'm just kidding, guy." Let's just put that back in there. So you know what I mean? It's because it's clearly a character trait that he has, that he's developed in his life, and so very often we get things stem from real life. Like the coach character I did on Mad TV is, thank you. He's an amalgam of 4 coaches. that I just shoved together. One for looks, one for stature, one for voice, and one solely for the way his eyes looked. And you just kind of just jumbled all those guys together, and that's where that character comes from. And same thing with Jordan. It's like everything. You have to have your antenna up all the time when you're a sketch performer, and just say, what's this behavior, or what's that vocal signature, or what's that person doing? Now, why would anybody walk like that? And so I used to say, before I'd ever step foot in this city, when I was in college, or I might have been in graduate school, and I remember I said to students, when I would teach students, I say, you go on the subway when you go home to New York City, and you may be looking at somebody across the way with your friends and making fun of them, and I'm thinking, that person's going to win me a Tony. You know what I mean? That's what It's that person. That's where you're culling material from life. It's the best because the more specific you are, then in honing in on a character trait that a person has, the more general it is. Yeah. The more it's so funny. The more specific you make the person, for some reason, the more people can enjoy it, which was interesting. Yeah.
Well, how do you gauge what makes a successful sketch for you?
For me, a lot of it has to be a sketch should be, I think, very often be treated like a small movie, like a very short 3-minute movie. So there should be a beginning and a middle and an end. The hardest thing is always an end, having an end to a sketch. Yeah. And then the other thing, of course, is that there should always be an element of surprise in the midst of it. Because when you do classic sketch, the thing is like, here's the setup, and then we're gonna set up and then pay off 3 times, and then you go home. But you can pay off 3 times in the middle of the sketch and have all the fun and games and not have an ending. So that's the hardest part. But then there are sketches where you want to have a flip or a reversal at the ending. So Substitute Teacher is a classic sketch with a flip at the ending. So once you guys know the game, you go, oh man, who else's name is it gonna get wrong? Get somebody's name wrong. But the thing is, you don't know what the name's gonna be. Yeah. Only he knows only Garvey knows what the name's gonna be. So he looks down, and then you're titillated because you're like, what's he gonna? We get the game, and then at the end, Timothy says present. So it's like, they're not on my side. They're not on my side. They're not on my side. He's on my side, and you get out. Yeah. And the scene's done. So it's got to be a series of twists, and what makes endings so difficult is that the ending has to be another twist, but that somehow wraps it all up. Yeah. And the easiest way to do that usually is to say, we're in this world. And then the way you get out is you kind of back up. You pull the camera back and go, nope, we were actually in this world.
Which in this episode, I was going to say, the dinner party sketch is kind of... So,
yes. It's a double zag. It's a double zag.
Flipping to the point where I was like, that's the smartest fucking sketch I've done in I don't know how long.
And we sat in a room, and our friend Rebecca wrote that sketch because she's always wanted to do. She's like, I always wanted you to do your Poitiers voice, and so let's write something for your Poitiers voice, you know. They call me Mr. Tibbs, you know. And so she was like, I want to do something for that, and then have all these lovely furtive glances. And we didn't, we didn't have the original ending. The original ending was that I got up in the script. I got up from the table, and my bottom half was just a foot, like an enormous foot. And I was just like, this is an outrage, just leave. And so we're like, so how exactly are we going to affect that? You know what I mean? So then we compromised, and ended up being a lizard tail. And I've always been nervous about the sketch. It was good to see it in a room with people and see the reveal and then the double reveal work. So you're like, the tail. Oh no, they are racist. Yeah, they are racist. That makes it funnier. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. It's like zag, zigzag, zig, zigzag, zag, zigzag, so that you stay on your toes. You want to be a little uncomfortable, and you want to be titillated and find it scintillating when you're doing comedy. Titillating? I don't know what the. What is this? What is going on? My poor wife. That was ribbled. That was a ribbled comment. So the anatomy is always twist, zigzag, zigzag. Yeah.
Yeah, the anatomy of titillation.
And especially in sketches like that, that's what we call a blackout. In a sketch like that, that's short in duration. So you want to set up an expectation, and then pull the rug from under their expectation. Yeah.
Well, you're saying in the green room you were excited to watch because you never get to watch with an audience.
We don't anymore, yeah.
So how do you gauge if the sketch is working?
Well, the thing is, there's different types of sketches. So there's sketches like the 70s job interview, which, by the way, had this huge middle part of the sketch where he came in the room and I did more disparaging things to him. I'm like, this isn't working. But then the whole sketch became, I let him in the office and I'm just like, this guy's already on my nerves. And then I sat down for what seemed like it was going to be like another 2 minutes of me going, I still think you're an asshole. And I still think you're an asshole. And so we just we stopped in the middle of the sketch and went, let's just cut this part out. Let's just make it be about the greatest interview you've ever seen, and then we'll just keep cutting back to those great reaction shots from Jordan. And so that's a little bit of a creeper sketch, just kind of a character study. And I think the original cut, the first cut of that sketch was, I think it was 9.5 minutes. It was just like, we couldn't figure out what we wanted to cut out of it. And Adam Pally was just hilarious, and we were just going for it. But then you have a sketch like the okay sketch. Yeah. Which has so many good ingredients in it. It has a vocal signature, so you guys are all going, and your brain is going, that's clever. She doesn't say anything but okay, and she's inferring all this feeling. And my character's freight training it. So what happens is it's like when you go to see a musical. So you're going, but you don't laugh too much because you don't want to miss the next thing, and that's what elicited the applause at the end of the sketch. Is that you're feeling it? You're feeling that it's tight, that it's working moment to moment to moment to moment. So some sketches they breathe and they're kind of languid, and other sketches they're kind of freight trains. And then so we have I feel a good variety in this episode because that last sketch with the lizard tails is a bing bang. It's reveal, visual reveal, and you're done. The job interview sketch is kind of like a screw around sketch. You're like, oh, those guys are having fun. Look at the fun they're having. So it's hard to gauge it because sometimes you enjoy a sketch that you don't guffaw at every single 3 seconds. You don't laugh out loud every 3 seconds, but you still may say, oh, I really enjoyed that sketch because of the story or the arc of the sketch. So it's hard to determine. Yeah, it's hard to determine.
Well, in this episode alone, you had Adam Pally and Melanie Linsky.
Yeah.
Are you guys really involved with the casting?
Oh yeah. We're the casting is us. It's really us. It's us telling the casting director, get this person, get that person. Oh, I love this person. Oh, that person's my friend who I think would be great in this. And that all the time. Yeah, we're very deeply involved in the casting.
So do you write specifically for people you know or people you want?
Not typically. We just kind of write. The writers will write sketches and we'll do stuff. And when we're rewriting, we're doing touch-ups. We'll very often go, ooh, who'd be good in this? But we seldom write. The only time we do that if it's recurring. So like, we wrote the second Nazi sketch, so it had to have Ty do it. So we had Ty Burrell do it. So we had to figure out when Ty would be available to do it. Yeah. And because it was our very first guest star ever in our first show. Because he and I are buddies, and we went to school together. And so I was like, Ty, will you come do this? We need like a big profile person. And but other than that, we just write the sketches, and then figure it out later.
Well, you were talking about the different kinds of sketches you have on a show. Do you have a favorite one to do?
Yeah. There's a type of sketch that Jordan and I call peas in a pod. The valets are a peas in a pod sketch, where both characters are extremely excited about the same thing. So there's no conflict between the characters. It's just heightening. And so it's interesting watching your guys for all of the amazing effects and makeup and the way our director of photography, everything looks gorgeous. It's like Kubrick's DP did our show. And that brings it to another level. Yeah. But the interesting thing is I'm watching you guys laugh at the sketches a lot that are locked down. It's just, you're just watching me and Jordan perform as if you'd be watching us on a stage. Yeah. Now, it's lit beautifully, and there's these cool effects, and we both turned into Iron Man. Which we just wanted to be in wires. We just wanted to be on wires, so that's why we did that. But we figured because now every single one of the ends of those ballet scenes is always supernatural, like bursting into glass, turning into confetti, growing wings, and becoming cherubim. So we have to end it that way. But those scenes, I'm listening to the crowd reaction. It's like, oh, that's they're doing a performance piece. So it's less about the genre than it is about the performance. And so Those are my favorite scenes to do. Same thing with the two girls. They're peas in a pod scenes. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're the most fun because we're interacting with each other truly in the moment as much as we possibly can. And we generate those types of scenes in different ways. But that's my favorite. Those are my favorite. They're fun to do. Because eventually you get to a point where you're just trying to crack the crew up. You're just trying to get somebody in trouble. You're just trying to get a grip in trouble. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, Tom. Hold the bounce card, man. What are you doing, Tom? I got him. I got Tom. You know.
Yeah. And then you fire Tom.
And then we're the cruelest people in the morning. Get it together, Tom. No, you know what? Forget it. You're gone. You're gone. My fault.
Well, I mean, you brought up the Valet sketch, and I've never seen anyone so passionate about Val Kilmer.
It's just the template for the Valet sketches. It's just that those two brothers right there love action stars. There's 10 action stars, and one of them's black. So they're usually white action stars. You know what I mean? It's Denzel, and then Liam Neeson's, and Bruce Willis, and Valet Kilmer's, and R.D. Squared, and then of course they also like Annie Hathaway's and Sandra Bullock's. So, but Sandy's Bullock's. But that's the template. It's how my friends when I grew up, the same thing would react to a movie. You know what I mean? Like, y'all see that Last Boy Scout though? But Bruce Willis throwing that Last Boy Scout though? Showing my age, Last Boy Scout. But you know what I mean? Like it's the way that we get excited about films, and that was the kind of the original idea of what the characterizations of those two guys would be. And it's so funny. We'll say to people, "Oh, you mean Duke and Majid?" And they go, "Duke and Majid? What?" Because you guys never hear their names. And I'm like, "Oh, that's right. Nobody knows their names." So I'm Duke, and Jordan is Majid, and I don't even know where we got the names from, but those are their names, in case you were wondering, for trivia reasons.
Well, I brought up Val Kilmer before you wrested the conversation away from me to ask if, because I'm also thinking specifically of the Crystal Light Aerobics.
Oh, God, yeah.
Sketch. Is there a moment in the writer's room where you're like, this is too esoteric, like we can't dive this deep into pop culture?
I think we typically don't do that until we find out that the sketch is going to cost too much. That's the only time we ever let go of an old idea that we love. So that was a writer taking her laptop, turning it around, and hitting a button, go, everybody watch this. And then we watched it, and then we started riffing about it and improvising around the idea, and we knew what it would look like and that we could make it look cool and retro and all this stuff. And then someone was said, but what if the cue card said this and that? Oh yeah, but what if they said that? Oh yeah, what if it's a murder mystery? Oh yeah, I mean, it's the craziest, strangest. You're right, it's completely esoteric.
Yeah.
But there's a story inside of it that I think anybody could latch on to.
It's crazy dark too.
It's one of the darkest sketches we've ever done. If anybody knows this sketch, do watch it later. It's about two guys doing the Crystal Light Aerobics Championship, 1987.
And the shortest shorts
Shorts,
ever worn by
leg
men.
warmers, Reeboks, and we're all and Jordan and I are like an aerobics dance team, and we're competing against other aerobics dance teams. And I love when on the real video, they do all these things. They go, from Detroit, Michigan at the Body Shop, Lance, and then I come out dancing, and I'm like, and they're dancing together, and then this whole plot just unrolls where there's cue cards on the side, and the stage manager is showing me cue cards and saying, keep dancing. Like, keep dancing. Just have to tell you something. But don't stop dancing. Your wife has been in a car accident. And your daughter as well. Keep dancing. And I'm just up there looking like... And he's just like, do you know anybody who would want to hurt your family? I'm just like, and I look over, and Jordan's just like dancing in unison with me with this maniacal grin on his face. And then I just jump on him and I go, I'll kill you, I'll murder you, you son of a bitch, you son of a bitch. And then and that's how it ends. It goes, and then it just goes to snow.
Technical difficulties.
As if it's an archive tape that you never got to see during the 1987 Crystal Light Aerobics Dance Championships, which was a real thing that existed for like 3 years. Guys, I don't know. We should probably tune into ESPN 6 and watch that aerobics dance championship tonight. I can't wait to see if Rock the Bod from Colorado Springs wins this year. It's such a strange thing.
Well, even stranger is, as funny as your sketch was, it's still not as funny as the actual video.
Oh, no, the video is much funnier than the sketch.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Because that sketch is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I like dark comedy. I don't know if that's come across. Just kill somebody and I'll laugh hysterically.
That's one of those things where sometimes we've done sketches in the past where we've said, I don't want to, like, what if we did a sketch about this? And then you go, I think in this particular case, real life is crazier than we could ever make the sketch, ever. Remember those old United States Marine commercials where the guy was, like, fighting the lava monster? I'm like, when are we going to need this skill set? You got to pull that glowing sword out of that rock, go across the laser bridge, and kill the lava monster. Like,
global warming is real.
So I remember that was one of the notes we got from Comedy Central. They said, the real thing's already too weird. It's already too weird. Yeah.
Sidney Poitier works at Comedy Central.
I'm taking over. No, it's all right. Yeah. We need to make the funny funnier. No, it's all right.
I mean, so you finished filming season 5.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Is there anything happening right now that you're like, God damn, I wish we hadn't called it quits yet?
Not, to be honest with you, not right now. I mean, the big thing is this. There's a lot of other things that we want to do, and the show is so time consuming.
Yeah.
And 100%, I want to say once again, because I cannot say it enough. This was in no way, shape, or form Comedy Central's idea. This was me and Jordan saying, we think it's time. We feel like it's come to a natural end for us. And also, it's a bit of a grind. It's a real grind to do sketch. Every show is hard. All TV shows are hard. But it's just time to move on as well. And another thing, just, I don't know, like from like an academic or scholastic kind of point of view, is the thing like, really, there's only like 7 plots. And because we don't have the ability to do topical humor, we have to do kind of human thematic humor. And so the thing is, my fear, everyone's like, come on, don't quit, don't do the show. But I'm guaranteeing you, at the beginning of season 7, you're all gonna go, well, we saw this scene in season 4. It's just that they're doing it now in old-timey Western town. I've already, you know what I mean? It's harder to keep making it fresh. So it's kind of like, let's just go the British route. You know what I mean? Let's go the British route and let's kind of get out while the getting's good. And then that way, we all remember the experience fondly, all of us. Because I want, you know what I mean? Like it's.
Although I will say, I would watch an entire season of you remixing old sketches in different genres.
Into different genres?
Yeah.
Maybe, hey, wait a minute. There it is. Hold on, I gotta call Jordan. No, it's yeah. So it's that, but it's also pursuing and exploring other things and that we want to do. And you know, Jordan's gonna be directing a movie this fall because Jordan's big passion, actually, his big passion is horror. He's a horror connoisseur, and he's written a horror film, and he's gonna produce it and direct it, and it's really fantastic. And then, you know. I'm a Shakespeare guy. I've just taken this 18-year detour into sketch comedy, and I miss it. I miss the theater. I miss it a lot. And so it's time to it's just time to do other stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I mean, also it's not like you've stopped working on other stuff.
No,
I mean,
televised stuff. Yeah, no.
You're constantly working. You're constantly on my movie screen, on my TV screen. I hear your voice everywhere, and I'm just like, oh.
Did we have to invite him? No.
I mean, I just saw Vacation. You have a scene in Vacation.
Yeah.
Tonight, everyone go home and watch Playing House on USA at 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah. Those go. I don't know.
This is your Neckline episode.
It's the Neckline episode.
The Neckline episode.
Yes. If you guys haven't watched Playing House, you got to see Playing House because Lennon Parham and Jessica St. Clair, who are 2 dear friends of mine, they're like a female Laurel and Hardy. They're really amazing. It's do yourself a favor. You will not regret the 30 minutes you will spend watching that television program. It's really fantastic. But there were things that I wanted to do. There's just projects that come up, and you pick them because there's people that you respect very much. and you want to work with them, and you want to see what they have to offer the industry.
Yeah.
And so it's been an adage of mine for a good deal of my life is make an effort to work with people who are better than you. Make an effort to work with people who are going to give you insight in some way, shape, or form. And so that's why there just happened to be a string of literally 6 projects in a row that I felt met that criteria. So yeah.
You're like Jude Law this year.
Oh my God, yeah.
Mr. Jude Law.
I don't know about all that. I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
But you also produce and you
we're
teach
producing. And there's things I don't get to do as much. I don't get to teach as much anymore. But like at the end of the year, I'm going to take a break here. I'm here shooting a movie, and then that's going to be it. Kind of for the rest of the year, so I can kind of just recharge my battery and sit down and gather my thoughts, and then sit down with Jordan so we can gather our thoughts.
Yeah.
What's the next thing for us? What's the next thing for us separately? What do we want to do together that excites us? And what do we want to do apart that excites us? Yeah.
All right, it's time for the SAG Foundation lightning round.
Oh, lightning round. Okay,
you
here we
ready?
go. As ready as I'll ever be.
It's a lightning round, so that means try to be fast.
You're right. I will try.
And Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. How did you get your SAG-AFTRA card?
Indie film in Michigan. Indie film in Michigan.
What's it called?
Get the hell out of Hamtown. You'll never see it.
Are you telling me that, or is that the name of the movie?
That's the name of the movie. That's the name of the movie. Yeah.
Equity card.
Detroit, the Detroit Repertory Theater. I did a play called Detroit Stories, and I played a young Native American.
Named Detroit.
Named Billy Yellowcorn. That was his name. Billy Yellowcorn.
Who do you have an acting crush on?
Ryan Gosling.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Don't sweat the details. It's going to be fine. Just get your thing. Just get your thing, which is a fancy Stanislavskian way of saying, achieve your objective. Go get your thing. Yeah.
Creating a character, what comes first, the voice or the clothes and costume and look?
Physicality. The body frame first. Yeah. Like.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I do. I'm outside in, but it's body first, and then the voice comes.
Oh,
yeah.
Because you were talking about finding the vocal.
Yeah, vocal signature. Right. Like what's a thing that a person says that's idiosyncratic to them.
Yeah.
But for me, typically, it's the body first, and then the body, voice, and then costume.
Worst audition story.
Worst audition story. Yeah. Coming into the, I think it was an audition. It was like an audition for I think it was like a Samoan bodyguard. Or something like that. And I walk in and go, all right, so you need 3 more of me to make any of the other actors in this place. I've had 2 of those where you walk in and everybody else is a 6'6" blonde guy. I'm like, is this this seems like it's a Viking movie. Why? Not sure why I'm here. Yeah.
Did you get it?
I booked it. No. I just started eating carbs and working out. No.
Worst survival job.
I used to work in a cemetery.
Awesome.
Yes, I worked in a cemetery. I planted flowers. I planted flower beds on top of people, and so that was like the worst and best job because you always get this. I worked in a cemetery. You get the cool reaction, but man, nobody wants to wear jeans when it's 92 degrees outside with 85% humidity and you're just weed whacking tombstones. It's yeah.
Why did you have to wear jeans?
Oh, because in case it was a safety thing. You had to wear steel-toed boots and jeans. You could not wear shorts just in case the weed whipper kicked back on you or something. You whip yourself in the shin. I don't know why or how you would do that logistically.
Or if a hand just reached up and grabbed
that
you
would be
by
a
the
problem.
ankle.
Well, and then you definitely don't want jeans because they're going to get purchased. They're really going to get some and drag you down into the depths. I mean, I'm willing to lose some hair off a leg and run bloody murder. Run bloody murder? Not a saying.
Yeah.
No one's ever said that, ever. Of course, run bloody murder! But no one's ever said that. Ignore that previous comment.
Honestly, if you can scream bloody murder, why can't you run bloody murder?
No, I guess you could run and scream bloody murder at the same time.
I think you should.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it out of here.
Do it.
Bloody murder! Bloody murder! Oh, man. I got good speed on that. I got up there in like 2.8 seconds. Holy crap. I can't believe how fast I got up there. I got dilithium crystals in my feet. What the hell? That was crazy.
All right, there are 2 questions left.
2 questions. Here it is.
This is a reader.
This is the slowest lightning round ever.
I'm not great at the lightning. It's not my skill set. This is I said reader submitted, but audience submitted.
Oh, yes.
What is your favorite cheese?
My favorite cheese is a Dutch Havarti with caraway seeds in it.
That is so specific.
Yeah. I used to take nice thin slices, not terribly thin, slices of Dutch Havarti, put it on a nice plain bagel, stick that bad boy in the broiler, pull that bad boy out, just enough crisp on it. Scrumptious. And if you're feeling spicy, you get it with a little bit of caraway in it. Plain or caraway, your choice. In fact, you can use any damn bagel you want either. Any kind of bagel.
Last one.
Yeah.
Anyone who wants to go into comedy as a career, what advice do you have for them?
It's this. You just observe human behavior. That's the thing. Observe human behavior, because that's where you're going to find truth you find the truth in other humans and how they react to situations. So that's my big thing. My big thing is always from character. It's always observe how other humans behave in a situation as opposed to how you do, and literally start cataloging it and say, oh, I guess I could do that for this. Yeah. Observe your fellow humans. They're a resource to be mined.
I'm now picturing like a room in your house, like a serial killer's lair, where you just have all these characteristics cataloged with red yarn, just zigzagging.
Yeah. I go through yarn like nobody's business. I've got a special like VIP card to Michael's. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I've got files and files of characters. Yeah.
Well, on that note, that is the end of the lightning round.
All right.
Is there anything? What are you looking forward to doing now that you're out of the grind a little bit?
Yeah, just more. Like I said, more drama. More drama with the stuff that I went to. I'm going to do the stuff that I went to school to study.
That's weird. No one does that.
Nobody does that, right? Yeah, but no, it's more drama in both cinema and in theater. I'm very nervous, but there has been a standing invitation for me to play Hamlet at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater.
Wow.
So I think I have to do that because it scares the shit out of me. So that's what they say, right? If it scares you, do it, right?
Yeah.
So I think I have to go do that, and that might be 2017, 2018, and but then anything else in between, I'm open to. It's open to kind of just moving in that direction. The movie I'm shooting right now is not necessarily a comedy. It's literally a drama about comedy. So it's a drama about an improv troupe. So yeah, it's real. So that's a good transition piece, right?
Yeah. Well, and I mean, True Detective season 3 hasn't announced their leads yet. So is that why you and Jordan called it quits now? Free up some time.
You did it, Mark. You figured it out. That's what this whole night was about. It was a ruse. You just needed 2 more clues, and you figured it out.
I watched a lot of Murder, She Wrote.
Oh my God, why did they do that? I love it. See, Playing House. Got to watch Playing House.
Playing House, guys. Playing House.
Got to watch Playing House. It's a funny Playing House joke that he just told.
You're going to laugh so hard when you watch Playing House and you get it later. It's going to be, you're going to go, God damn, he's funny. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh my God, this is my pleasure. Thank you, New York City. This has been my pleasure.
Congratulations again on the Emmy nominations and on the series.
Oh my God.
And on your zillion other projects.
Yes, thank you. It's been great.
Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.